We're here to come and go. I'm going to come and go right into this American Inn right here. All right, folks, the Gjeebs organization is about to go cross-country, 2,400 miles, 13 charge stops in the brand new 2026 Model Y. First charge stop, Fernley, Nevada. We have 41 hours and 3 minutes. Enjoy your flight. I'd also like to give a shout out to Clyde's Coffee here. This will be fueling the Gjeebs organization for the first leg of the trip. Got my wife a Clyde's camp sweater. She said she wanted. I said, I don't think it's cool, but your boy's surprising her. And I don't generally do this type of stuff. The other thing that we'll be doing is I'm using full self-driving. I'm going to talk about the charging times, the efficiency of the vehicle, and how much charging adds on a journey like this, and just see what the charging experience is like. But yeah, using full self-driving is going to be very nice. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how it is. Also, just the charging times, 13 stops is what the navigation initially told me. So I'm curious to see if that stays accurate throughout the trip. Might hit some rain through the Midwest, and I'm using Interstate 80 basically through the entire country. So this is my first huge road trip in the Model Y. I've done this many times in the old one, and that was an excellent road trip vehicle. Yes, it takes longer, but ultimately, if you're looking to get somewhere quickly, you should get on a plane. But we're gonna be doing it in a Tesla Model Y, the Juniper, the refresh, and we're leaving Tahoe. Look at what a place, huh? Look at this place. Now the Y is already preconditioning its battery for optimal charging speeds, so that is good. And that's also why I like to use the navigation anytime I'm going to a supercharger. Even if you know where the charger's at, do this and it will upgrade the charging speeds for you. Also, they're adding some superchargers right here. There's a Safeway. I think I'm in South Lake Tahoe. There's a Safeway up there, and they're adding chargers right behind that blue sign, right here, right behind the blue sign. Just went past a sign back there. It said I'm entering an alternative fuel corridor, and my nipples just went diamonds, baby. A lot of people like other fuels. I like gas. It seems to work the best. Elon has gone off the rails. Everyone saw it coming, even me. He's very rich. He's not as rich as me, but he's off the rails. His party will never win. I'm the winner. If they win, they stole it, and that's okay. All right, made a little change here. It wanted me to charge for 5 minutes at a supercharger down in here. I'm skipping that, and we're going straight to, what is it, Winnemucca? How do you say it? Winnemucca, Nevada. And look, 83 degrees on arrival. It's currently 67. So, I mean, look, how beautiful is that? So we're already eliminating a charger. We're going to get there with 12%, which is plenty. And you can also change your arrival energy. The car's moving. It's going to kick me off FSD. Anyways, you can change your arrival energy. I have mine set to 10%. And yeah, their attention monitoring, yeah. And that's that. So we're already eliminating superchargers here at the Gjeebs organization. The Bunny Ranch? Bunny Ranch? Business park? What kind of business? What kind of business? That's where the Gjeebs organization will have their annual shareholder meeting, is at the Bunny Ranch. I feel a lot of people like the ranch. If you've never driven across the country, I can't recommend it enough, because if you live in like a densely populated area and then you vacation to another popular vacation point and you fly there, you're just going point to point. You're not seeing like what the country is made out of. And that's why I like doing these cross-country trips, is it gives you a really good perspective of what the country is. And you come across so many different people briefly in small restaurants or small towns, and you realize everyone is after the same thing. We're just trying to take care of ourselves and our families in the best way possible, and we don't all hate each other. And I think it's very important to get out and just experience these different, I don't want to say cultures, because, you know, we're all under the same roof here, but I don't know, we're very lucky to live here. It's so vast, and to have the road system that we do, to have the charging network that we do, to have McDonald's at every single corner. We're blessed, folks. There's the Fernley, Nevada superchargers. Few there, few there. I kind of got to go to the bathroom, but we're going to push. 80 miles per hour, that's not efficient, but we will gladly do it. Device in hand, leave me alone, I'm filming. So I've discovered something that helps. I have it set to 85, but it was like going 79. So if you press on the accelerator a little bit, It goes up, and basically, here's what I think. Basically, this full self-driving system is that kid in class. They're a smart kid, right? And you know that, but they just need that little nudge to get them to where you need them to be. That's what full self-driving is. It just needs a little nudge, and it'll be just fine. So you got to coach it a little bit. It's full self-driving coaching edition, right? We're the supervisor. So I don't know what's about to happen in these next 7 miles, but it's almost 90, okay? And it says it said we were gonna get there and it's gonna be 66 degrees. So I guess we're climbing Everest here at Winnemucca. Rolling up to our first charge stop, Pete's Gambling Hall. Where is Pete? I need to have a word with him. All right, charge stop number 1 here, V3 charger, so we should hit 250 because we're only at 12%. SOC. What is this? Play Vampire Survivors. No, thank you. Trying to survive this car ride. Yeah, good trip there. Let's see what we got here. So 272 miles I just drove. No. 203 miles I just drove, 272 watt hours per mile and 55.5 kilowatt hours used. It's pretty efficient. That 272 watt hours per mile equates to about 290 miles of range if I were to drain the battery full. So that's pretty efficient considering the car's rated at 303 miles. Again, I had AC off for part of that because we started up in Tahoe, we went downhill, but then the speed limit was 80, so I was doing 80 to 85 a lot of the trip. So the efficiency on this car with the tires and everything is significantly better. You're much, much closer to real world numbers with the new Model Y compared to the old Model Y. So that is good. I have to go to the bathroom. 300 miles in, and this is the painted elephant on the hillside. That is what the Tesla navigation points out there, the painted elephant. You can't even see him, and we're headed into these tunnels. Hopefully it's clear. And look at these old train tunnel. That's cool. Hopefully we make it out the other side here. Quick life advice. One word should actually say stay away, not the waffles, folks. Do not go to Hampton Inn to eat the waffles. Almost at Elko. I keep seeing this sign. It says, have you been paid for your labor? And then I thought, I've seen it 3 times, so now it's making me think the advertising's working. This one time I was in an internship, kind of an internship summer job. Basically every time I was home, I went home and I did this job. And I was delivering medical supplies when I was in college to reps or hospitals. And it was a Friday night and I got paid $10 an hour, which I thought I was a billionaire. When I was getting 10 an hour, I was like, I'm stealing from this company. And then, you know, I wasn't. But so this one Friday night, manager comes over to me, goes, Ben, you want to make a little extra money? I go, yeah. He goes, you get some overtime this week. He goes, you can do some overtime and drive a kit up to Erie, Pennsylvania. I was like, oh, heck yeah, it's Friday. And it was like 3 p.m. And I had plans to go down the south side. If you're from Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about. Down there. So I go, do the run, and it's like a 6-hour round trip because there was snow and whatever. Come back, I'm like, heck yeah. I ended up getting back at 1 in the morning. I mean, ridiculously late. But I was okay with it, missed a night out with my friends, whatever, because I was getting double pay. I thought I was getting $20 an hour to be driving up there. And I would put my phone in the cup holder in the truck because the radio was broken and the cup holder would echo the sound better. So I could actually hear what the hell was going on. I get my paycheck. When that pay period was up, I'm like, should be like an extra $100 or $200 in here. I go to my manager. He comes over. He goes, yeah, you didn't hit your 40 hours that week. There's a day you were out, so you got screwed. Sorry about that. And he just hits click and goes right back to the meeting he was on. And that is why you need to work those garbage jobs and deal with idiots. So you learn how to treat people appropriately. Think about how, you know, when you're making a business decision or whatever, think about those times when people didn't treat you right and how you would correct that. So anyways, that's the Gjeebs School of Education Class 101. God, I wish I could tell you what the guy said to me after I left the internship. Wow. It's not the money, it's what you learn in those garbage jobs that is invaluable to you down the road. It's not necessarily what you're doing on the job, because anyone can deliver stuff, but not everyone can handle what's thrown at you. There's Ruby Dome in the distance there, about 11,000 feet elevation. Now, as far as the car on this journey so far, suspension and sound, comfort of the seats. I love the bolstering on the side. Excellent. Heated, cooled seats, so you're comfortable when you need to be. I just turned the cooled seats back on. Basically, when you get a little bit of sweat on your back, it just clears that up, so you're not as much of a stinky pig driving across the country. It just feels great. So that's all excellent. I do have the sunshade up as well. It's rejecting some heat. This is from Vion.parts. Code Gjeebs will save you 10% there. So it's like 59 bucks plus 10% off plus free shipping. This is excellent. The fitment is as good as it gets because there's a little difference in the back there. It just fits perfectly. Easy to store away and keep in your car, and they ship it very quickly. So this is the one to get just because it's cheap and effective. So the car has been excellent. The other thing is the full self-driving is there's been no phantom braking. So that's a big improvement. And I'm on these really long flat roads. And that's where my old Model Y was always like phantom braking. I've not had a single phantom braking issue on this entire trip. Also, I went to a chiropractor recently because what I do is I carry the automotive community on my back, unfortunately. And you know, that's a lot on me. So I had to get my back straightened out. And he was telling me, I was telling him, yeah, I'm driving across the country. I know I have a fake job, whatever. And he goes, yeah, so every 2 to 3 hours, do this. He said, do this, and it'll give you like, well, I don't know what it does, but it activates something. And so I was going like this on the way up from Phoenix to Vegas, and I thought my wife was going to take the kids and leave me. She said, I'd rather hurt than do that. I said, fine, I'm about form over function, okay? So that's that. Now, the title of this video, I left my job, I drove across the country, blah, 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 right? The dream. It's over 4 years now that I've been full-time on YouTube. I left, worked for a company called CDW, IT company, and then I moved to medical device sales, did that for 2.5 years. About 8-ish years I spent in the corporate world selling, because my perspective with sales is you're providing a solution to people that need it. I really enjoy meeting people, and I like finding solutions and things that they may like. And you may notice on this YouTube channel, I like to sell certain products, Hydrosilix or the sunshade or whatever. I enjoy that. It doesn't feel like work to me because I'm like, this is a great product and I got to let everybody know about it. That's where that comes from. So I enjoy selling. What I enjoy more than anything is making people laugh and having fun. There's nothing, I mean, my best memories are just making people absolutely lose their mind laughing in uncomfortable situations. Like when they're being yelled at by a coach, I'm making faces on the other end. So not only are they being yelled at, they also are fighting off laughter. So I love making people laugh and making videos that are informative and funny. And so as far as jumping from your corporate job or whatever you're doing that you may not like, there's a few things that you may want to be aware of that I've discovered. And it's the fact that if you want to do, like a lot of people want to do YouTube because they think that it's like, they see wealthy YouTubers and they're at the top and whatever, and they're making a bunch of money and they're on a plane travel company sent them to Ibiza, and you're like, oh, that's so cool. I'm not at that level, but I am successful. My wife can now be at home with the kids, and I run the Gjeebs organization is doing well. What you don't see though is the most true thing that has happened that I've realized is, they say, oh, I left my 9 to 5 for a 365, 7 days a week or whatever. That is true. If you care about your business, if you care about what you're trying to do on your own, it is a non-stop thing. And because of that, you have to love it or you will fail. I don't see another way that you could be like kind of okay. You'd be teetering. I love YouTube. I love to figure out how to make YouTube videos better. All of my ideas are like original ideas that I create. I take risks and I go and I say, okay, this worked in the past. Okay, we're gonna do this and repackage it this way. Constantly checking analytics, replying to comments, replying to emails and sponsors, and have a workflow of videos in the works coming. So there is so much. And I could come up
with 1,000 different videos on this vehicle alone. It's endless for me. People are like, oh, running out of content, or how do you make these ideas? How do you have so many ideas? I have unlimited ideas. And that's because I'm constantly thinking about it. I'm constantly filming B-roll. If I see something on the car that I like or looks cool or I might use later, I'm constantly going. So my advice to you is whatever you are pursuing, you can probably find some level of success in that to get you to where you want to be, or just be happier, because it cannot be about the money. The money will come if you're passionate about it and you are constantly evolving what you're doing. You can't be passionate and keep doing the same thing that doesn't work. For example, if I show a gas car on this channel, if I review a gas car, that is a waste of time for me. So I have to intermingle that with electric vehicles, because you guys, my audience, who lets me do this full time, you guys want to see what I think about an electric vehicle or an accessory, or compare it to a gas car. Doing a review on a gas car, it has to be a special thing that I can make work. And I have found a formula that does work, that I do every once in a while, but ultimately you're here for the road trips, the accessory reviews, the comparisons, the efficiency tests, all of that type of stuff. If I review a Pagani, it'll get 5,000 views, and that's garbage for the channel. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're headed towards, you have to put time in and be passionate about it for $0 for many years, and be okay with that. It can't feel like work. You're like, oh God. It's not like you can't go out with your friends and have fun, and it's not like you can't go on vacations and you gotta work. No, I didn't do any of that. I just kept consistently getting better over time and studying what other successful people were doing, paying attention to how YouTube was updated, all of that stuff. And then, because I was at a point where I was going to be promoted in 1 to 2, that's what they kept saying, 1 to 2, yeah, we'll promote you, whatever. And I was like, I had a conversation with myself. I said, if I'm making, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, and I started thinking about the things I could get with that money, and things ultimately don't make you happy in your life. It's a hollow, if you're just chasing things, it's hollow. And I said, even if I'm making that much money, I'm working ridiculous hours and someone else owns me. And I said, would that make you happier? Would it enhance your life? The answer was no, which is crazy. It's crazy that you could say that amount of money and say, no. And I jumped. And so, my first year making YouTube videos, I think I started in February. So from February to the end of the year, actually for that full year, I made $71,000. And then the following year, I made $119,000. And then it continues to build. So you have to really love it, because for $71,000, I think I was making 95 as a medical device rep, because I was an associate right about to be promoted. And the rep above me was making like $600,000 a year. But I saw what he was doing. 7 days a week, no vacations, on call all the time. I don't care about the money. I'd rather do what I want to do, because ultimately the best promotion in life is your time and ownership over what you want to do. And that's where I'm at. I can do what I want to do, but I'm still working in the background. Yes, I can just pick up and drive somewhere. Yes, I can take my whole family and go on a vacation somewhere. But I'm still doing things to continue everything, to keep everything going in the background. So you have to love it. You have to put in a lot of time. So when your time comes, you are ready. You are a professional. You are ready to handle whatever it takes to be successful in your choice of your career. And I really believe it's not for everyone. And also, working in corporate America isn't that bad. You have to sit in a desk and rot. And you get some free lunches and things. And you're in an air-conditioned room and you get paid money to do a job. You can do an average job and you can just keep getting paid the same amount. And people snake by and skate by their entire careers doing that. And that's fine, but it just wasn't for me. And the other thing I've learned is, if you do just two things, if you show up on time and do what you say you're going to do, you will never be average. You will always be above average. And that's not that hard. That's the bare minimum. And it puts you above average. So don't be too hard on yourself. Pursue something. if you're in corporate job, don't go on Instagram and think you have to go, you know, do whatever these other idiots or broke idiots are doing, okay? So that's my advice from the heart of the Gjeebs organization. I hope that helps anyone that's out there, whether you're struggling or doing whatever. You can do it, but you have to put the reps in before it's showtime, just like anything else. All right, 8.5 miles to the next charger.
So I ended up, I found a sandwich in the car, so I didn't stop for lunch. I could eat while I was driving, and I went to the, what supercharger am I at? I went to the Wells, Nevada charger, and this is when having V3 chargers is important. There is only one stall that's currently available. There's no charge limit. Like if I were to go to a V2 charger, the 150s, and I park next to someone, you split that, I think it's called power share, load balancing or whatever. So I would have to share it with other people. Whereas this, the full chargers, and we're going to the moon here, 206, 213, 217, we're climbing up. So these are also why V3s are important, because if they're fully packed, you're going to be able to get maximum charging speed if your battery's low enough. So we continue to ramp up here. All right, also, just to show you something here, I got off the interstate here, okay? And then drove about 400 feet to the charger right down there. So a lot of people think as well that you have to go way off your route, and that's generally not the case. It's very rare when that happens, or it's a mile or 2 miles. But it's pretty rare when it's like a significant amount of time to where you have to get off of your route of travel to get to a charger, from my experience. So another great charging session there, cost about 23 bucks. Went from about 10% battery to 77%. And our next stop is in 2 hours and 30 minutes in South Salt Lake. I've never been to Salt Lake City. There it is, Salt Lake City, 181 miles. And yeah, so I will say, like, yes, you can drive these cars for up to 4 or 5 hours like I did. I drove Phoenix to Vegas on one charge, over 300 miles. It was 5 hours. But generally on the road trips, you're looking at 2.5 to 3.5, because the car is trying to keep you in that safe buffer zone. Once you get more comfortable with it, you can push that and do whatever you want. But as far as the computer system goes, that's why I tell people, like, to look at a Tesla as their first EV. It's just, it makes it so easy, in my opinion. And all the worries, the more you use it, those worries kind of go out the window. Are the superchargers available? Well, it tells you on the screen. Is it going to work? Well, I've been to 400 superchargers. I've never had a single issue. So not saying that issues won't arise. That'll certainly happen, but it's very, very rare. Yeah, so going is speed, speed limit's 75 here. I'm going 79, just incriminating myself. And yeah, at these highway speeds like this, that's kind of what you're looking at. There's our 287.2 watt hours per mile. So decently efficient for 91 degrees and going highway speeds. So everything's smooth so far. The new Model Y is excellent. So if you're on the fence to get one, or at least consider test driving one, because they're just, again, I've said this a million times, but the drivetrain, the throttle response is so much better than anything you can get at this price point. It's not even close. It's so fast and so efficient. And like around town, which is where most of your driving is done anyways, there's no better daily driver than a Model 3 or a Model Y. And you don't even need to have supercharging. As long as you have a plug at home, I think you'll appreciate the value of it. I'm not saying go get a new one. Like they're used, they're $20,000, $25,000. And Model 3s are in the teens. So I don't know. What do I know? What I'm trying to say is you should consider it because it's a good vehicle, not because it's an electric vehicle. Like, I don't think I'm saving the environment with this thing. I just think it's a good, safe vehicle that continues to get upgrades over time and has very little to no maintenance. And the battery warranties are good. So that's what I'm saying. There's also a company called Coverage in a Click. They didn't sponsor this video. I do earn a commission if you use my code, but you save, I'll have it on the screen. Basically, you can get a battery for life warranty on a used electric vehicle. So you get coverage for the remainder of the life of the vehicle. If the battery fails, they will replace it. My code, I think, saves you $50 off of your warranty. So it's really worth checking them out too, because then you can factor the cost of that into the cost of the used Tesla or whatever vehicle that you're looking at and go, okay, this is cheap to run. It has no maintenance. And then
I'm covered for life on the battery. So worth looking at. I think that's a smart combo, because buying a new car is never, you know, a smart financial move unless you keep cars for a long time. Then I have no issue with it, but so many people don't. Nice little bridge here in God's country, northern Nevada, also known as God's country. Not many people know this, but it really is just stunning and gorgeous, just end to end. We're in the valley of the Silver State. A lot of silver up here. Take a road trip, folks. I don't care if it's gas, diesel, electric, hybrid, or horse. Travel the country when you can. It's beautiful. It's eye-opening. It's inspiring. I don't think I have no further words right now. Entering Salt Lake City here, South Salt Lake. It is wild to me. Like, I went through the Bonneville Salt Flats. It's wild that there's just salt. Like, what? I know I could look it up, but what happened? Why is there salt everywhere? Clean it up. We're gonna get to the supercharger, South Salt Lake, with 8% state of charge. And we're good, It's, let's see, 547 miles into the trip. There have been 2 charge stops. So as far as charging, it's really not been an issue. The first stop was 33 minutes. That's kind of long. The second one, I think, was 23. So it's not been crazy, but we're entering Salt Lake. Car's been excellent. Full self-driving really has been excellent, I will say. No complaints. Just need, you know, find me a Chili's and we'll be really, then we'll be sailing. That is truly what we need. We also need to follow up on the ice that's in the front of the vehicle. Just about 2-hour stint where I loaded in the ice and then drove. So curious to see how much is left. I pulled the drain plug, so it could just be ice. Maybe I should have left it. I don't know. But, curious to see how that's holding up as well. The park there called Alzheimer's Park. I would say you'll never forget it, but, you know. We're not just boys. We're car boys. All right, moment of truth. How much ice is left, folks? Okay, we lost a lot. We lost some. We got to refill it. But that was 2.5 hours. Not bad. It's 100 outside. Still life left in her, you know there, boys? I think I might put the plug in. Might have to plug her up. Because that water, ice water, would have been helpful. There it is, Wyoming! We're here, baby. I've never been to Wyoming. I might have on the I-90 search, but I honestly don't remember. And we are in Wyoming. What we got here, okay? Wyoming welcoming me with a little fireworks advertisement. We like that. Okay. That's right. You cannot unsubscribe here at the Gjeebs organization. You stay with us through thick and thin. I just saw a sign. It said 24-hour deli in Wyoming, in Little America, and then I became Bill Maher at the deli. I went, look, there's nobody at the deli, okay? If I went to the deli at 3:20 in the morning, no one would be there. No one's eating at the deli. Look, people, I'm not going to the deli. Bill Maher needs some work. I went to the deli and Melania said, give me some meat because Donald doesn't have enough. Okay, people, look, the new deli is better than the old deli. Louis, I prejudiced it. Melania's also hot. 24 hours, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, they will not be spotless after McDonald's and a blah. Never spotless. A backsplash, I mean, just destroyed. So, a subscriber of mine created this.
We love you. Say love you. Love you, Dada.
So I'm. I love you too.
Drive safe.
The Gjeebs organization always drives safe.
All right, love you. I'll talk to you later.
10-4. Anyways, a subscriber of mine sent these to me and they are incredible. So it's a walkie-talkie / cell phone. It has cell service. You can talk instantly across the United States. I'll have it linked below. Yeah, they're just a big fan of the channel and we found a way to work together because when Andrew and I were doing our range testing, we don't have like a strong enough walkie-talkie. People can get on your line. This is totally secure and you can talk all over the world instantly. So I will have a link to these below. I'm going to be showing these more in future videos, but this is like a great use case. Can talk to my wife and kids instantly, even if I don't have cell service on my phone. It It has deals with all the major carriers and everything. A good use case for these would be like school systems can standardize on these to communicate teacher to teacher, principal, emergency situations, whatever. And you can have up to 10,000 units on one line within here. These are excellent, linked below. One of the greatest charging stops of all time here. Got Japanese steakhouse food, Japanese steakhouse right there. Car charging right here, sun setting, and it smells great. So I'm gonna sit on this bench. Car's gonna charge, and I'm gonna eat my food and enjoy the sunset here by Dunham Sports. It's kind of beautiful. I mean, look at the quality. This was $16. 16. Chicken, shrimp, steak, rice. Miso soup, had this in the frunk. And there's a salad here. Okay? Unbelievable. I'm moving to Wyoming. I'll work at Dunham's. You know what I appreciate more than anything? I just booked a hotel, Hampton Inn, Rawlins. Where am I at? Rawlins, Wyoming, right? I just talked to Susie on the phone or whoever. And it wasn't an outsourced call. Electrify America chargers there. God bless them, huh? It wasn't outsourced. It was just the lady at the front desk. I appreciate that so much. I understand at times there's a ton of calls coming in and you can't always, it's like, wears on the person working at the front desk. At the same time though, man, it's just so much easier when you're not like trying to, rewards program, all this stuff. It's just like, here. Let me help you. Yeah, we got rooms. Boom, done. 1 minute. Not stay on the phone for a surveys. No surveys. Everyone's fine. No surveys. So I really appreciate Rawlings, Wyoming because they don't outsource their front desk workers. And we don't either at the Gjeebs organization. All employees of the Gjeebs organization are right here in the US of A. Onwards. This thing is so quick, by the way. It just rips. And it's smooth. All right, cops. God. I wasn't even going the speed limit. Probably gonna pull me over because I wasn't going the speed limit. Some day one numbers for you there. 850 miles covered, average 278 watt hours per mile. So we covered ground here at the Gjeebs organization. I am toast. But God, that stir fry, do you ever picture something exactly what you want and you get it? Oh my God, was that good. But yeah, I got a little 150 kilowatt here. Getting that 150 juice, V2 Nation shout out. And we're going in. Unfortunately, I'm not staying at this Fairfield. That would have been nice. I'm staying across the street at the Hampton. So that concludes day one. Let's go to bed. On the road, day two, 6:58 in the morning. It says we need like 9 superchargers to get home. I'm pretty sure I started the trip with 12, needing 12. And then the computer keeps readjusting and added more and more and more superchargers, which is annoying. So far, how I feel about this thing is suspension great, comfort great, sound system great, the comfort of the cabin, heated, cooled seats, excellent. It needs more range and it needs to charge faster. Now, that's only really necessary on road trips. For around town, this thing's a 10 out of 10 because you just charge it home and you go and you're done. You don't even think about it. And it does get closer. It gets basically its real world range if you have 100% charge and drain it all the way down. But again, with EVs, you're really not most people are not going to go below 10%, right? And then to get it charged above 90%, even above 80%, takes forever. So really, the reason you need more range, I mean, you see why you need more range and you need faster charging to eliminate the fringes of the vehicle. So yes, it's good, but also the
when you are road tripping, and again, this is an extreme road trip. Most people's road trips involve, you know, 1 stop, 2 stops, whatever. So this is crazy, but also people do it. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're off to our first supercharger day in Cheyenne. And now to the stage, Cheyenne. She's from the state of beef. Cheyenne's all natural and from the Wisconsin beef factory. I'm almost certain those are for snow drifts. Has to be. And also, for those of you that live out in, you know, Wyoming or wherever, where's your school at? Because I drive like 5 miles and I see a farm and a house. And I drive 5 miles and I see a farm and a house. And I drive another 5 miles and I see a farm and a house. But I don't know where the school would be. Or like, where does it take you 5 hours to get to school? There's one school in the state? I don't know. I think that's Elk Mountain, 11,100 feet. There's another one way out there. I mean, I get it. I get the appeal of living out here, absolutely. It's, you know, what's that country song, or, you know, God spent a little extra time on you or something? I think he's spent a little extra time out here on Elk Mountain. These snowdrift fences, you know? So let me know. I think I'm zoomed in ×2 on my face right now, so that'll look good. But, yeah, where do you go to school? Let me know. Let me know. Gas, exit 285. All right, here's a before look at our window. And here's after. Did a little Hydrosilex travel kit touch up. Comes with all the essentials, tire shine, interior, little ceramic, you know, the works. And then you can store the towels on the outside pocket here. So I'll have a link for that in description. Code Gjeebs July will save you 25%. I think it's $34. So yeah, 25% off. You have your little kit to clean up while you're charging and wishing you were in a gas car. All right, so obviously I'm here to educate you guys. You knew about this, right? But I bet you didn't know you get bags of ice at McDonald's. We're gonna load up this with McDonald's ice and keep these apples cool. All right, little point of interest here. This is Tree in the Rock. It is a literal tree in a rock. This tree was growing out of a crevice in the rock when the Union Pacific Railroad built its original main line 50 feet south of this rock. The fence and cable were provided by the Union Pacific Railroad at the request of the Historical Landmark Commission of Wyoming. Don't say I didn't teach you anything. This is awesome. But we got to get back on the road because the Gjeebs organization does not sit around and dilly-dally. Tree Rock. All right, I got another question for my audience here. These windmills, okay, look, we come across this horizon, and there's 1 trillion of them. Are energy costs lower because of these? I know they cost money to maintain, I know they cost money to build, but if these are in your region, are you seeing lower energy costs, or is solar the way? I think it's good to try all this stuff. Try and be efficient, try to find new sources of energy. I feel like there's mixed emotions. I'm not asking for a political response, I'm just asking for a fact. Just give me some information. This looks like the Windows 95. Remember the grassy field? That's what it looks like. They added these windmills though. This is some NCAR supercomputing center. So, maybe that's what all those windmills are powering. Okay, Walmart's a supercomputer. Entering Nebraska for the first time in the history of this YouTube channel. And I gotta say, it's really desolate up here. There's just not a lot. It's beautiful, but there's just not a lot here. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that that's what it is, you know? The other thing I'll say is the charging up here is outdated. You're looking at 150 kilowatt chargers, 120 kilowatt chargers in terms of Tesla's network. I may actually put in the routing third-party chargers to see if there's any, I don't know, 350s from Electrify America out there. But I also get it because there's, you know, I don't know what the amperage is into some of these homes. And also, where's the nearest service center? And like I haven't seen an electric car on these roads. I mean, I've been in the only one for 100 miles or something. Have not seen another electric vehicle in general. So there's really no incentive to upgrade the charging infrastructure. You can do it. It just takes longer because the chargers aren't as fast. It is kind of fascinating going along this route in these areas that aren't densely populated and seeing like, yeah, I don't know why you ever would. At least not in the next 5 years, I don't see anything changing really even on this route, Interstate 80. So certainly interesting. It's frustrating because the charging times are really eating up a lot of time now. Yesterday, 2 hours and I think 15 minutes of charging over 800 miles, and it going 80 miles an hour, that's 160 miles lost of travel. You have to stop at some point to stretch and eat and fill up with gas. So you could say 35 minutes you could pull out of that. I don't know. Every time I lean on the passenger seat, it tells me to fasten the seatbelt. Well, there's no one there. Nobody weighs 4 pounds. Just charged at Nebraska. They have a nice playground over there for your kids, and you can do a few pull-ups there, but you probably can't. And we're on our way. Interesting anecdote from the road. Another Cybertruck. I've seen more Cybertrucks than any other electric vehicle, I think, on the road moving. At chargers, I'll see like a Model Y or 3, but I've seen 9 Cybertrucks so far driving on I-80, which is interesting. I mean, there's a lot of trucks in this region, but I've not seen a single Rivian, a Lightning, anything. It's just been the Cybertruck, and this one's going to Pennsylvania. So, just an anecdote. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know where I'm currently at in the United States, but Nebraska, I think. Just want to say to anyone watching still at this point in the video, sincerely appreciate your support. I feel like I don't say that enough, but I do. Thank you. And my mind's a little too roasted to have anything further to say, so we'll just leave it at thank you. Looky here, it's the Archway Parkway. It's the Archway Monument here. What in the hell is this? At this point in the trip, no matter where you're at in the country, because they have this in like Oklahoma too, the Archway exit. Like, what is this? Look at that. What is that, a horse with wings? Adventure awaits exit now? Look at that structure. And you're telling me you can't afford to make kids lunch free at school? Hey, I'd like to give a special shout out to Nebraska, the Corn Huskers. As soon as I enter this state, there's corn everywhere. I go to Thunder Hill Raceway truck stop or something like that. I ate excellent wings. The waitress was great. Cherry Pepsi water. Oh, I keep leaning. Look, I lean on the seat and then it says turn your seatbelt on. Shut up. But anyway, shout out Nebraska. If you're subscribed to this channel and you're from Nebraska, say what's up, I mean, the more greenery, right? The more greenery and farming. I spoke to a lady at the supercharger. I think she's from Lincoln, Nebraska. And she runs a Tesla rental business. She's got 12 Teslas in the fleet. She saw mine and she said, this is incredible. What is this? I said, it's the 26. It's a 26, baby. And she goes, we're going to have to get it. She's going to order, she thinks, 4 of these to add to her fleet because they rent for 30 days a month. She just has the fleet and it's doing incredibly well. And look, the Gjeebs organization, we reach out to everyone. We talk to everyone. And this lady's killing it. And she loved the 26Y. So anyways, shout out to the Cornhuskers. You guys volleyball team. My wife loves volleyball. She played, and you guys are always in the Final Four. So, I know about the Huskers. And I also saw 2 guys at the Thunder Hill gas station. They were like 6'5", 400-pound whites, thick whites. And I mean, they should just go straight to the NFL because he just, like his leg, if he would have kicked me, I would have gone back to Arizona. So anyways, recruit those 2. The billboard back there said Cubbies. I thought it said Chubbies. And then on the side, I thought it said cheerleaders and it said Chesters because a chubby is what you get when you go to cheerleaders, and cheerleaders is a strip club in Pittsburgh. And it's honestly not a bad one. Cruising through Iowa right now, I just saw a guy, nice STI. I just saw a guy mowing his lawn. You can see where I'm at. I mean, I go to point the fields out and we go into a valley. Unbelievable. Guy just mowed his lawn. He had 5 acres he mowed up.
Guy's wearing a Jeff Gorwin Letterman's jacket. And you know, when he's done with that yard, he's gonna go inside and feel accomplished, like he did something. And that's what we're missing in society today. We're missing that sense of meaning and accomplishment. Because when you sit at a computer all day and go, yes, I got the report done. Can I leave 30 minutes early to pick up my daughter from school? No! You know, so that's us. Doing simple things, pulling the weeds, doing your landscaping, I don't know, you know, like the minutia that seems meaningless, but fulfills you in a weird way. Whereas the work world, the digital work world is very hollow. And that's what drained me out of corporate America. So yeah, that's just something I observed here in Iowa and wanted to share that, see if that's something you all are feeling. We're gonna bear a right to stay on 80 East, said the AI. We're in Omaha, Sioux City, Omaha. Trademarked by Peyton Manning. All right, we're out here in Iowa, and the charger's right by a cornfield, and there's a path that you can walk down, which helps reduce obesity. And I mean, this is, it's just, did you ever see the movie Signs? Go running through here. Yeah, just beautiful. It's just nice to, I threaten to move every year from Phoenix to an area like this, but then winter's terrible here. There's no winning. Nowhere's perfect. Pick your battles. Live with it. What the f***? It's a snake. Oh, it's a little gardener snake. All right, back to the car. The city boy saw a snake. I'm moving. I got an email. I just checked into Grinnell, Iowa. Grinnell, Iowa, it's the Americana Inn or something like that. $81 a night. They send me a text and say, we can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you guys. You can have Phoenix. I'm moving. I get it. I'll be a farmhand and I don't even need to do that. I'll just make my YouTube videos out here. I'll buy land. I'll make a track for efficiency testing. I'll have Elon Musk himself put in a supercharger for me. You know, this would be great. Iowa Tesla guy could be my cameraman, and that's it, you know? This is just, God, it's just beautiful out here, you know? And the Model Y, this thing is a tank, by the way. Like on the long road trip, I try to remind myself that, because I'm a little frustrated with the charging times at this point, and there's a lack of 250 kilowatt chargers up here, so it just, you know, you're like, okay, let's get going. But I also have to remind myself that I am doing a 2,500 mile trip. This isn't what the average person does. And gas is still king. It's faster, but planes are fastest, right? And that's just what it is. So this is just beautiful. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you're at. It's a long video at this point. I bet we're going to close in on an hour, but it's better than me breaking it into 3 videos, you know? Drop a like if you're still with me. I'd appreciate it. You don't have to, though. Whatever. That's one of the wings to those windmills. Cool little warning here. I couldn't figure out what this sign was. Oh, it went away. But there was a speed camera. You saw the notification up there. So that's pretty cool. I got this little like beep that I've never heard the car make. And apparently there is a speed camera up ahead. So that is nice. I mean, I assume this is Des Moines, right? It kind of has to be. Look at the red light bar. Shout out to the red light bar. And also, check out this. The tail, that looks cool in the back. Afterburners are on. And I think we're in Des Moines, baby. It's a nice building out there, huh? Look at the Iowa State Cap. Okay, this is unbelievable. The Iowa State Capitol's right there's the tip. The Iowa State Capitol, I mean, is gorgeous. There's just the tip, but it is beautiful. I can't tell you how happy I am to see 2 things right now. One, a V3 charger. God bless America for V3s. I'm so tired of the nonsense, the 150s. Tesla, hire me. I'll go rip them all out myself. All right, no, I gotta wash the windshield. The second thing was gonna be there would be a windshield wiper thing, but there's not. So I'm only happy about one thing. We're here to come and go. I'm gonna come and go right into this American Inn right here. Buy Wyndham for $81. That's what I'm talking about. Not these for, you know, $177 last night. And I'm staying in the middle of Wyoming. It's not Times Square, but Yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing juiced up to 95%, go to bed, and then we're off in the morning home stretch. Day 3 is in the works. We're headed to Peru, Illinois. And it is just a beautiful sunrise here this morning. God's country. God's country. Looking at the map here and I noticed this fog, and look at this. Look at this fog, okay? Found this fog. This guy right here, he decided on Google Map Picture Day that he was gonna have a fire and ruin the image. So, I just wanna let you know I did get to the bottom of that, found the perpetrator. All right, shout out from Peru, Iowa. And we're all charged up here. V3's here. V2's over there, so make sure, look for that skinny cable. And we're on our way here. I had an incredible omelet just now. Dead slide. I had an incredible omelet in there, and it delayed me a little bit because, look, I was enjoying myself. I had a nice little omelet, and it was nice, and hash browns and toast, and then I squeezed it into a breakfast sandwich, and that's it. The Olympic torch is lit way out there, huh? Burning some trash out of that pipe. More to discover. Indiana, 1816, huh? We're here, baby, and we got toll roads. It's funny. You get east and you hit all these toll roads, and they're the worst roads. So what are we tolling? What are we doing? What do we do? Where's that money going? You know what tolls should be? A 50-50 raffle. State gets 50, but if my car goes through the toll that month, once a month they're pulling a plate and you got 50%. Then I'm like, okay, I love tolls, right? That would be something that would be great, return the money to the people. But I mean, I just drove across the entire US on Interstate 80. No tolls, great roads. Then when the roads go to hell, they toll you. So, that's life though. Yes, sir. 2 clubs in 1, the 2-for-1. Some sort of EV charger here. I don't know what the brand is. It's just kind of funny to see. Looks like Blink, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, we're about to get our ticket and then go 100 miles an hour. We have officially come online, East Coast time zone. We are here. I was thinking, what is better, East Coast, West Coast? I don't know that I really have an answer for you there. Both have benefits, Golf R. Yeah, which one is better? Let's toss that one into the comments, because I kind of look at the country like this. Like, do you ever take one of those things? They're like a wave, and the water or whatever's in it, the liquid moves and it makes a nice tidal wave. That's how I view the U.S. People started on the East Coast, right? Or the settlers. We're not going to get into it, right? But the settlers came on this side, and then, you know, they just went west for the gold, right? And then, like, nowadays, I feel like it's coming like this. Like, that wave hit this end, it hit the West Coast, it's coming back. And some of the wave the wave gets smaller. It hits, it gets smaller, it gets smaller, it gets smaller, and it's settled. That's how I view the U.S. People are moving out with COVID and everything. They moved out of the city, they're going into the countryside. And I see the appeal of that once you're in a really big city. So that's what I kind of feel like is happening in the U.S. right now. The wave is flattening out, and it's going to be a calm water here soon. By soon, I mean probably the next 100 years, but that's what I think's happening. I don't know how we got from Eastern time zone to that, but you've arrived. Hy-Vee. I went in a Hy-Vee grocery store. That's where I had the omelet, and it was great. I did think I was going to have to emergency pull over blowout, but I didn't. It went away, which means it will come back with a vengeance. But for now, we're good. Tire Rack headquarters. Shout out Tire Rack. I love Tire Rack. I use Tire Rack, and I just like it. If you need, if you just giving me my temperature and arrival and destination. If you need tires, Tire Rack's the best. Gives you all the options. That's what I use. Not sponsored. Should they sponsor me? Of course. Of course they should, but they don't, and that's fine. And the Gjeebs organization supports Tire Rack. Getting hit with a little rainstorm here. It hasn't rained like this, like it's raining right now. It has, these raindrops are so large, these don't exist in Arizona. In Arizona,
it's like a little dusting of rain, and then the ground's dry minutes later, sometimes seconds. And it's just nice. My windshield's getting cleaned off. Little button here, tap. And we're cleaning up the windshield. We're almost back to even par. I think 2 more charge stops and we're home free. We are also over 2,052 miles traveled. 269 watt hours per mile, which is pretty efficient. 100 and yeah, that last section was 245 watt hours per mile. So right on EPA rates. All right, so for the first time ever, I'm running into issues. This charger is a 250, only charging at 48. This one didn't work, so I plugged into the next one, and now this one's limited. So I might have to go over to Electrify America to save the day if this keeps up. All right, we're good now, 252 kilowatt charging speed, so we are rolling. But yeah, those first 2 chargers over there was an issue here in Ohio. But I love how these are located. Interstate's right there. You come off, pit stop here. 2 chargers don't work. You plugged in, you're good to go. So I do love the location. Just, I've never really had that issue at a Tesla charger. So kind of a first, but again, it still worked when I went to a different one. Well, here we are, New Springfield, Ohio. This is the final charge of the trip. This is the 15th charger that we've hit. I think at the beginning I said there were going to be 12 chargers. Overall, this car has been excellent, but in this setting, in this extreme test that I just did, extreme road trip, it comes down to the same issues. There are still some slower chargers out there. You want the car to charge faster. You want to have more freedom in terms of range. 350 miles, I think, is the magic number. To be able to get that out of the vehicle. There's absolutely no way you're doing that in a long-range all-wheel drive, but in the rear-wheel drive model, that might be the sweet spot. I think it's 357 miles of range, and that thing, if I'm not mistaken, with the 19-inch wheels, that might be the one to get if you don't need rear-wheel drive, and that might give you the autonomy that you would like to have on your road trips, and you're not forced to pull over. So the comfort is excellent. I like the new aerodynamic efficiencies, the sound system, the seats, everything is so well done. They just need to make them charge faster and add a little bit more range to these all-wheel drive long-range models. And then I think you have something that is unbeatable, but I don't think the battery technology is there yet, or Tesla is not willing to push the chargers out there and push these batteries as much as I think they could if they jailbroke them. Also, full self-driving multiple times. There were lane merges in Ohio. 3 separate times I thought it was going to go directly into the cones and either sideswipe the car beside me or hit the cones. That happened 3 times. But other than that, full self-driving was also really nice and convenient on this trip. And you guys know that I don't really care about full self-driving, but it has certainly improved, and I'm happy that I have it. And also, just as an example here, like I just hit start on the screen, and it's now going to drive me out of this parking lot and take me home. Hopefully not hit that lady. Seems like a nice lady. Good-looking Midwestern wife out here. Spawned children, still looking fine. And yeah, just takes me through the parking lot. Blah, blah, blah. Please pay attention. Yeah, I am. We did it! The Keystone State welcomes us. The Gjeebs organization has made it to Jerusalem. We're here. We're playing pond hockey. Easy Pass is gonna send me bills. It's great. Rusted billboards. There it is. Jesus saves. Oh my God, we're back. We're back. So here are the final stats from our trip. Initially, I said it was going to take 13 stops. It ended up taking 15 stops. So here is day 1. Here is day 2. Here is day 3. And here are our totals. So total miles driven is 2,439 miles. And over that time, it took us 6 hours and 43 minutes of charging. Now, some of these charge stops, I went longer than I needed to simply because I was eating or it was the end of my day and I just wanted to be fully charged up so I could leave early in the morning and not have to delay by charging the vehicle. The total cost of this charging was $236.10, which I feel is pretty cheap. And the cost per mile, this is what's really interesting, is 9 cents per mile because all of this was public charging. And 9 cents per mile essentially equates to about what a Toyota Camry costs to run. And our trip watt hours per mile are 266.6. So I think what we can conclude from this is to buy a Toyota Camry. And if you want to see me review a Camry compared to a Tesla Model 3, click this video right here.